What's up, my chatterboxes? This is my review for Love at the Lockup Season 3, Episode 7, Denied and Declined. Guys, can you please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to share my videos. For some reason, my videos aren't showing up in the YouTube algorithm. So if you guys can, just share the videos, I will really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into Love at the Lockup. So it starts off with Jessica and Maurice. Okay, like I said in my last video when I was speaking about them, Maurice is one stupid ass criminal. Okay, it's bad enough that you're violating parole, probation, whatever it is. But the fact that you're doing it on national television is like, dude, you deserve to be back in jail. If they lock you up, you deserve it. Because my thing is, how stupid can you be to be filmed, violating parole? That's weird. And Jessica, you so weak. That's supposed to be your man. That's supposed to be your husband. I understand you want him home. I understand you was in an uncomfortable environment. But my thing is, you as his woman supposed to want him to do better. You know he was violating his parole. You shouldn't have went for that shit. You shouldn't have went for it. You only worrying about what you want and your needs, and not the outcome of what could really happen. He could violate. If they find out he violated, they're gonna send his ass back to prison. That's what's gonna happen. So they had stopped at at the border, where as though on one side of the fence you will be in California, and when you go to the next one you'll be in Las Vegas. So he ended up pissing on the California side and said, I'm sick of California. It hasn't done anything for me but take me away from my family, caused me a lot of heartache and pain, and I'm done with it. I want to go to Las Vegas and live a new life. Come on, you cannot live a new life if you bringing in those bad choices. Handle what you need to handle. You was already in jail all them years. A couple more months ain't gonna kill y'all. It's not gonna kill y'all. It is kind of rough where you were, but stay low, do what you gotta do so you can bounce. That's all. I don't know. So they get back to the house, and she had the house set up for him. She had all the little jail pictures that that she took when she was with him in jail. And he was like, "Ooh, this is nice. You did all this for me. Nice plush carpet." They had she had a little workout area there. And she's showing them around the apartment, and he looking like he ain't never been used to nothing. I can't believe this is our house. This is my home. My wife been getting this together while I was at work. When I was away. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. I'm like, oh, okay. It was okay. All right, so she was like that she never told her parents that he was violating parole. So she was like, she don't know what they'll say if they found out. My thing is, why would you tell them that? I wouldn't tell my parents that. Some shit just don't need to be told. You understand what I'm saying? He shouldn't be violating parole. They're going to look at you like, what type of woman are you to be allowing this after he was already in jail for so long? You should have put your foot down and was like, no. If you want to violate parole, you're going to do it without me. You know what I'm saying? So she was saying she don't know how the interaction going to be between her dad and Maurice, because her dad don't really open up to guys and, really do well with her bringing guys around. Listen, who cares? You grown, you paying your own bills. I really wouldn't care. I really wouldn't. I just hope he respectful in a manner where it don't piss Maurice off and then they start butting heads. You understand? Maurice said he's, excited to see his mother-in-law, his daddy-in-law. I'm like, oh, okay. He was like, I go there. I be clean shaven, cut. He was, put on some nice clothes, showed that I had some manners. I feel as though they like me. I'm like, okay, because sometimes it ain't just about that. Sometimes they just don't like you because they don't like you. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, they end up taking their nasty asses in the shower together. That's all they do is hump, okay? So they end up, taking a shower together. And that was about it for that scene. Then we see... Oh my God, we see Destiny and Sean. Sean, you better run for the goddamn border right now. Destiny is going to suck your ass dry, okay? She's gonna suck you dry. Then she all in there saying, oh, it was fun partying in Vegas. She was like, I partied before, but it ain't nothing like party out here in Vegas. I'm like, that's all you worrying about is party. You ain't talking about getting no job. You ain't talking about nothing. That's all you talking about is having fun. Then you using sex to try to manipulate Sean and his dumb ass allowing you to do it. She asking him, can she get the car? He was like, well, what you need the car for? She was like, I want to get out. I want to go shopping, get some stuff for the house, some pictures and stuff like that. So he was like, well, I'll give you some money. She was like, no, I don't want no money. I want your credit card. He was like, you want my credit card? Are you even allowed, to have a credit card? So she said she ain't on parole, probation, or nothing like that. But she do have some stipulations, I guess, with her release. And she racked up like 568 charges for credit card and fraud and stuff. And she said, oh, well, what's wrong with that? The government do it all the time, but I end up getting in trouble for it. Bitch, you broke the damn law, okay? That's what's wrong with it. And she said she was doing that to supply her drug habit. And that's what she about to do too. She about to run his car in the hole and why she start using again? That girl ain't learned her goddamn lesson, not one bit. So she manipulated him into giving her the car. Well, he said that's all you had to do is swipe it, and it'll pop up on your phone or something like that. She was like, well, I've been going 3 years. I ain't know that worked like that. He was like, yeah, a lot changed. So when she found out the limit on the car was only $1,500, she was like, $1,500? That ain't no money. That's nothing. She was like, I need to leave 5 or 10. He was like, 5 or 10 what? She said 1,000. I wasn't talking about 500. I'm looking like, yo, what do you need $5,000 for? The house already got furniture in there. It's already got, what the fuck you need $5,000 for? Oh, you're trying to oh my goodness. She is really trying to do him, and that's what she's trying to do. And she was like, well, can you at least increase it to $2,500 and I'll make it up to you? Then she jumping on top of him. Oh my God, they just creep me out. And he all looking all stupid. So he ended up leaving for work, and he called his Kelly, that's his kid's mom, in the car. So the daughter wanted him to send $40 for some game, and he was like, yeah. So then Kelly was asking him how things was going, so he told her, and Kelly's still upset with him. She was like, I'm upset with you. She was like, and I really don't have anything else to say. So Sean's whole thing is Destiny doesn't know that him and Kelly talk every day, and he's afraid to let her know because he's scared that she gonna leave him. And she don't want him to know. He don't want her to know that his money in a couple months is going to be running low, and he basically know that she's in it for the money. She's talking about if that happens, he gonna lose his girl and his $50,000 because if she bounce, she forfeit the bond. So I'm like, you put yourself in a losing position before she even came home, and then now it's not sitting right with you because she a wild card. In your gut that this shit ain't gonna work out. And then you done messed up with your kid's mom for this meth head. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it ain't making no sense. But it looked like something ain't too right with you anyway. So maybe you're not thinking straight. I'm sorry. So we see Quail and Chevelle all, standing over top of Quail, talking about, I just can't take my hands off of you. And he all like, baby, you better stop. You're going to get into trouble. I'm looking like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if he really, I'm not saying he can't be attracted to Chevelle, but I'm finding it hard to believe that he really into Chevelle. Now, he playing it like he is, but I don't know. Them bad wigs, that body shape she got, I ain't trying to bash her, but she just ain't it. I'm sorry. She just ain't it. So, she's planning a welcome home party for him. And she said, I'm going to allow you to spend some, time with your family while I get things straightened out. So as she's saying that, his mom and sister had pulled up. So they runs out to, to greet him. Him and his sister, embrace, one another, because she, like he said, he hasn't seen her in years. So Chevelle, that was her first time meeting the sister too. So the sister was gonna reach out for like a handshake. But Chevelle was like, "Nev, give me a hug." I'm like, "Ooh, she really she not shy at all. Like she put it all out there." So Chevelle, she was saying to Quail, "Well, make sure you be back by 3:00." And he was like, "I know." She was like, "No, make sure you be back by 3:00." And his mom was like, "We know, we're going to get on back by 3:00. So they end up leaving. And they went shopping. They went to a thrift store. What's up with the thrift store on this episode? Because episode before last, I think Sean was at the thrift store with his kid's mother. Now they at the thrift store. So Quail said he hasn't been inside a store in like 12 years. Him and his sister was talking, and he said, like, he looked up to her. He really valued what she say, and that's his older sister, but he grown now. You know what I mean? So they were talking, and she was saying that she want him and to go back to Houston, where they are. She was like, she don't really feel like it's a good environment. She was like, you sound like you grown and you mature. She was like, but other people in these streets hasn't matured, and Kansas City is in the mood for him. So he was like, listen, I'm an adult now. He was like, I don't know why you and mommy keep saying that. He was like, I know what I'm doing. He was like, I made promises, to her, and I want to honor them. I want to stand on my feet as a man. I want to honor the promises that I made. And I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's trying to stick it out with Chevelle. Now, I don't know if they're going to make it. I know they are currently still together now, because I see them on social media. But I respect the fact that he's at least trying to, stick it in there with her. So she was saying in her little confessional to the producers, like, I know he made, promises, and he seemed like he, steadfast in what he want to do. She was like, but he don't owe anybody anything. He don't. Basically, what she's saying is, if you decide to pick up and leave today or tomorrow, you don't owe Chevelle shit. And I'm like, that. I mean, I understand that's your brother and you don't want nothing to happen to him. Y'all just got him back. But as a woman, you should be like, okay, see where it go. Like, you know what I mean? Because you wouldn't want nobody to do that shit to you. Like, they was and I know the mom probably put her up to that crap. I know she did. So Chevelle at the house getting ready for the party. Her family coming over. It looked like her cousin was not feeling it. He just looked irritated in the cut. He really did. So she got all like her the decoration. She said she wanted to be nice, for when Quail comes back. She has a surprise for him. We don't know what the surprise is, and I'm kind of curious as to what she got, for Quail. I'm not exactly sure, but I want to see. So moving on from that, now we have Scott. He talking to Lindsey. Well, he in the house. He's ironing shirt because he hasn't. Apparently, she was only getting a phone call once a month, and he hasn't heard from her in over a month and a half. He says so. She called him, and her story to him was she had got into something some months back or whatever, and I think it's like the unit, like the counselor, whoever it is. Lindsey had got into some trouble. They still didn't deny her release. They said everything was a go. She must have had a run-in with this counselor, and the counselor denied her to leave. So she said that she's been trying to fly right. She hasn't been doing anything in there to get in trouble. She was like, she don't know when her second release date is. She was like, but she trying to keep her nose clean. And I'm like, I don't know if that story adding up. I really, really don't. Like, because, I mean, I've never been in jail. I know they can do a lot of things, but I think Lindsey might have had to do more than just get smart with somebody. I really do. I do. So Scott said he getting frustrated because he was telling her, like, well, I waited out there for a half an hour for you, waiting for you to get out on the plane. I didn't know what was what. Like I said, she gave him a rundown of what took place. So he was saying how he just ready to like start his life with Lindsey. He was like, it's getting a little frustrated. He was like, all like the ups and downs, with dealing with somebody in prison. And he was like, he spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money. The first thing he do was ask her, do you need any money? And she was like, well, I still have some, but I'm going to go to the store so you can send me some. Of course she want money. Like, what are they talking about? Of course. And you sitting up there talking about you want to marry Lindsey. These girls is playing. They picking the right people. You know what? I need to get on one of these websites and act like I'm incarcerated and catfish one of these people. Because if it's that easy to get some money, I want in, okay? I want in. That's okay, so they introduced a new couple, Heather and Dylan. So we learned a little bit about them. Apparently, they only were dating a short while before Dylan got locked up. They never even had sex. She said he asked her to marry him 3 months in. 3 months in of them being together, but they're not married. So she met him at her friend's party. She said she went into the bathroom. He was in the shower, and he, looked out the shower, and there she was. And I guess they've been like inseparable ever since. Well, not really inseparable because his ass locked up, but they've been together ever since. She was like, she never had a problem with meeting men, finding men. She just always had a problem with keeping them because she's not for the bullshit. And I got you on that. When you don't tolerate a lot, it's hard to really keep your claws into somebody because you just ain't putting up with they shit. You just not. So she said him and her, they click. They were, listen, she was in the lingerie store. She was looking, it's a lingerie / sex store. She walk around with a bullet in her pocketbook. You know what I mean? She was looking at, different toys, different, sexy outfits. And she was on the phone with him and she was looking for her, and he was saying, well, he was nice. He was like, well, whatever you wear, the good part is what's underneath is jib. That's the most important part. I'm like, okay, he know how to talk. So she ready to get that little thing tapped, okay? She got it. She had bought this cute little black lingerie. That joint, it was nice. And you know what? She looks totally different from when you see her in the lingerie store from when you see her in her confessional. She might need to keep her hair short and that color red because she looked hit in that damn confessional. She looked a hot ass mess. Anyway, so apparently our boy Dylan here got an extensive rap sheet. They had like 50 goddamn on mug shots there, okay? So why he's in jail is because he tried to sell, I think she said heroin or meth to an undercover cop. And by being that he had the priors, his ass went to jail and he did 5 years. So he's getting out tomorrow, the next day, as far as with the show. And I don't know. Look like he gonna tear that ass up. He might tear that ass up, okay? And she's ready for it all. Like she said, she ready to just lay with him, suck him off. That's what she said, suck him off and cook for him. I'm like, okay. But you know what? She look like she a firecracker. It look like they gonna give us some good. They gonna give us some good TV. They gonna give us some good TV. I mark my words on it. You heard that here first. Anyway, so we have Kristiana and John. John picks her up from the halfway house, and she's supposed to be looking for jobs and everything like that, but she want to go see her mom. John surprised her with some flowers, and we learned that she can't have the flowers in the halfway house, so he said, well, won't you just give them to your mom? So she said that she had like an interesting first night at the halfway house because of a lot of the girls came, I guess, and where she was at, talking to her because she know a lot of the people because she's in and out there halfway house all the time. And he said that, he's not all that comfortable with her, being there and knowing, the women there. He was like, but he got to trust his wife and make, and trust that she's going to do the right thing. Listen, I've never been an addict. I've never been addicted to drugs, but I've seen how drugs had people. You had to be strong to kick an addiction. You really do. You had to have some strong willpower and just be like, enough is enough. So I hope Kristiana is strong and truly wants to stay off of the drugs. So she met up with her mom, and Kristiana's mom is a tough customer. Let me tell y'all, she is a tough customer because Kristiana, she all crying, she all, emotional seeing her mom. And you can tell her mom, was happy to see her, but she looking at her like, yeah, bitch, you gonna stay out? That's how she was looking at it. You gonna stay out of jail? Okay. Because I don't even want to get myself emotional of your ass going back. That's the vibes I was getting off the mom. So when Kristiana was saying to her, she was like, "Oh, I know you had a meeting with John. You met with John." She was like, "How'd it go?" She looked like it was all right. I was like, "Oh, mom is a tough customer." But she was like, I was surprised to find out that you guys got married. She was like, "Yeah, well, we only known each other for like 3.5 months, but he got down on one knee and proposed." The mom looking like, oh my goodness. So, but she did say, she was like, "You look good," and she was like, "I know you better than this. I hope, you do what you're supposed to do to stay out." And Kristiana got real emotional in her confessional. And what she said was, she was like, her mom is her world because her mom raised her. She had no relationship with her father. Her mom was a single mom, did everything for her. She was like, and she scared to lose her mom. She said, but when you out in the street and you in your addiction, you don't worry about the things that you can lose. She said she only worry about that when she in jail. And she was like, it's fucked up when but when you out in the streets, you ain't worrying about that. You out having fun, getting high, doing what you're doing. So now she said that she hoped, her being with John and he can keep her on like a straight, rope so she can be out here and, for her mom. And I kind of felt that in my soul, like because I was looking at it, because it looked like her mom might got like COPD or something like that. And I'm like, her mom might not be able to stick around for another jail run with her. She better be careful, about her decisions that she make from here on out. So Little Miss Destiny, her ass is at the furniture store, and it's a female salesperson, a young girl, not too old. So she was asking, Destiny, did she know what she wanted to, buy? And Destiny was like, well, I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've been in jail for the last 3 years. I really don't know what's out. Everything changed. So the lady was, the girl was, the one, young lady was transparent with Destiny and was like, she did 3 years in jail too. That sparked Destiny entrance, because now she goes and say, well, when you were in jail, did you ever mess with any girls? And the girl said, yeah, that's all the Destiny needed to know. So now Destiny flirting with her, telling her she want to take her out on a date. She was telling her how, she have a boyfriend, but she wants something on the side. And eventually she just hoped that she said he's like a straight and arrow type of guy. She said, but eventually she will hope that she can bring him around to the fact that she like girls, and maybe she can bring somebody into the relationship. So the girl was like, well, do you think he'd be okay with that? She was like, well, I'm going to get him okay with that. I'm like, Destiny is a wild, wild girl. She is a wild, wild girl. She was bragging on how he spent like over 50 grand on her, and she was like, she was so spoiled. It was like boxes and boxes of stuff coming. She had to put it in other people's names. And I'm like, oh yeah, you got a mark. That's all you got. You got a mark, and you ain't worrying about him. You worrying about what he can do for you. So the girl was with it. She was with it. She said that she'll let her take her out for a date. She said, well, who paying? She was like, well, I'm gonna pay. Well, really, he paying, but he don't know it. So you using your boyfriend money to pay for some girl that you about to mess with. Destiny said, like, she said, like, she a fuck a man, a woman, let them fuck together. Like, she just with it. She with it all, okay? And she said she really has been with more women than she has men. She said she been messing with women since she was a child, young. She was like, she used to mess with her friends. I'm like, okay, so you more so, I mean, I guess you would say bisexual because you still do mess with men. I don't know, whatever. But it seemed like your preference is women. Anyway, when she get up there to ring up her order, it came up to like $175, and I thought, and y'all probably thought too, as y'all was watching the show, that he upped the credit limit. But he must have canceled the card. So she out shopping with a card that don't have no goddamn money on it. He canceled it. It went declined. So she was all embarrassed. She called him and she was like, well, what's wrong? Why the card decline? He was like, I don't know. Like, So she said that she was like, so embarrassed. So the girl was saying that I'm gonna hold it up here. She was like, I'll suspend it. I'll just hold it. You can come today or tomorrow, whatever, like that. So she was like, I'll come tomorrow and get the stuff. So she was like, well, I don't know what's going on. And she leaving out, she was like, I don't know what's going on. She was like, since I've been out, he only spent about $800-900 on me. She was like, I don't know why he's cutting me off, because he see that you is gonna go through all his damn money. He already 50 grand in the hole for your ass. Like, no. Like, slow up. You ain't talking about bringing nothing to the goddamn table. You ain't talking about bringing shit to the table. So chill out, okay? Anyway, moving on. Now we got Chevelle. She's with her cousin. They're driving to get the surprise. Lo and behold, the surprise is she bought Quail a $5,000 used pickup truck. And I'm like, why in the world use a single mother? I understand you love him. I understand you want the best for him, but you need to slow walk this shit. Why would you, a single mother, take $5,000 out of your money and buy a car for a man that just getting out of jail, hasn't proven himself to you, haven't done anything for you or your child? Why would you do that? Even if Quail do have good intentions, allow him to act on those intentions. Like, what is wrong with you, Chevelle? And her cousin was steaming. He was like, you gonna buy her a car? You gonna buy him a car? What has he done for you? I'm like, I felt the conviction in his voice. He was like, you the only one bringing something to the table. And he hasn't proven anything to you. This could be his getaway car. And she was like, you think I'm gullible? I'm not gullible. That's all I'm doing is helping him out like I will help you out. No, you are gullible. And she was like, he's proving his stuff to me. You just haven't been around. You don't know. What has he proven to you, Chevelle? Come on, Chevelle. What has he proven to you? Like, you acting like you really acting dippy here. You really acting dippy. Now, I ain't saying Quail don't like you and all that other stuff. He don't care for you. He ain't trying to be with you. But what I'm saying is, ain't no way he would have got his ass a $5,000 truck. He would have got him a goddamn bus pass, and that's it. That's what he would have got, a bus pass. His ass wouldn't have got no goddamn truck for me. And the cousin is right. And as he drive, because now the cousin driving the truck back, and he's talking about, she spent $5,000 on his car. I'm like, he said, and you can tell that he overprotective of her, of her, because he was like, I don't play about you. And she said that she look at him as a brother. Well, you need to respect him as a brother, and he's a man. He knows what he's talking about. Like, come on, like. Oh my goodness. I can't believe she did that. I can't believe Chevelle did that shit. I'm telling you. So we ending the show with Maurice and Jessica. They're getting ready to go see her parents. And Maurice, he got a lot of growing up to do. He has a lot of growing up to do. So anyway, he had like a do-rag on his head. And Jessica was like, well, you're going to take that off, aren't you? He was like, no, I'm going to go like this, joking with her, whatever. So she was like, oh, well, it's okay. No, it's not okay. You don't want him, presenting himself to your parents like that, because he was saying how he looking like a thug. So she told him how he told her how he needed that on just to lay her hair down. Lay his hair down. Because that's what we black people do. That's what black men do. Our stuff, we just don't take the brush and brush it down, put some gel in it. We don't work like that. So it seemed like they got to get adjusted to being in an interracial relationship as well. Like, there's a lot of things she don't know about black people and vice versa with him. So he said, well, how do you feel when they were in the car? He was like, well, how do you feel about showing up to, your house with your parents with a black guy? She was like, well, it wouldn't be any different if I showed up with a white guy. Well, why would you say that? He was like, because don't white belong with white? And then she gave him this look. He was like, "Nah, I'm just joking. No, Maurice, you wasn't telling the truth, because you know people can date who they want to date, but you meant what you said. You wasn't joking with her ass, okay?" So they were driving, and it was like these nice houses, and he was like, "Ooh, and that's a 4-car garage." He was like, "This is a nice area. This like MTV Cribs," and he just sizing everything up. So Jessica saying, you know, they come from 2 different worlds. He didn't come from much money. I guess she had a little bit of money, and you know, it's a lot of getting used to. She was like, she was telling him, "Don't tell my parents that you're violating parole by being here." And he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna slip up and say it." She was like, "No, don't." He was like, "I'm just joking. Like, you really think you gonna go there, meeting your white parents, and he fresh out of jail and tell you he violating parole? He ain't telling you no shit like that. Come on, Jessica. Now, have a little bit more sense." But then we talking about Maurice. He wasn't smart enough. He wasn't smart enough to just stick it out in California. You know what I mean? So who knows with his ass. So I don't know. Jessica and Maurice, I don't know if it's going to work between them two. He seemed like he liking her. He seemed like he liked the life that she's able to provide for him. But my thing is, are the differences in their worlds, is it going to allow them to be together? So only time going to tell that. That's it. So we haven't seen him meet the parents yet, because they had just pulled up, and you know, now they cut to next week. Now, did y'all see when they did like one of the short clips, Lindsey was talking about how she get the makeup on? She used, I think she said she used something with the magazine for like the mascara, and then the eyeshadow, toothpaste, and she added something else to it. I was like, they get real creative when they in jail, because she said she like to look good, she like to feel good. She was like, that because she in jail, that don't mean she can't look good. But I'm here to tell you, Lindsey, that shit don't look good, okay? You can tell you probably used the magazine or something to get that shit on you. It looks horrible, but I give you A for effort. I will give you an A for effort. That I will. So it looks like Lindsey is getting out from the previews too. So I can't wait until next episode to see the mid-season finale. I can't wait to see that. So that's all I got for this episode of Love at the Lockup. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share this video. That's all I got for you guys. Holla at your girl. Bye.